Today on Indie Attack, we are playing Bosses Forever. This is a game made by 2DX. It's going on Steam Greenlight. This is a weird hybrid game. How is it you phrased that?
It's a shoot-'em-up RPG style brawler. Is kind of where I landed on that.
So the main gimmick of this game is that you fight bosses forever.
Yes.
Each floor of this giant tower that the game takes place on has a boss, and I believe it's just the same boss on each floor.
Really, it's boss forever. Yeah.
A boss forever.
And upgrading as you upgrade, the boss upgrades.
But the gimmick of this game is that as you defeat a boss, you get to level up, and then the next floor, the boss evolves and gets new techniques, apparently to try and counteract your playing style.
Yeah, it did feel like, I mean, that's what they were saying, was that it's sort of, it is an engaging system that adaptive, you know?
Yes.
Like, yeah, and so, like, if you're, like, really hugging, like, you can, like, it's like a, you know...
If you're sitting on the ground and shooting up a whole bunch, the next round the boss will have a shield below it, or it will drop bombs on you.
Definitely.
If you're jumping along the walls, it'll have lateral attacks.
Yeah, you know, and if you're just standing in the corner blasting it, it'll charge towards you, or, like, and it starts, like, doing all these crazy, so you'll start teleporting and appearing randomly, and, like, you're very fragile in the game, too. It's, like... And there's there's three things you can upgrade your health. Well, basically, it's like you can get health or power.
You can upgrade your health, you can upgrade your power.
Or you can heal yourself. Because from level to level, your health carries over. So if you take a ton of damage, you're really going to probably need to heal yourself, because it's like it's an arcadey game, and it's very dexterity based, you know, because it is kind of like it's a small little arena. You're right there next to the enemy, kind of like a Mega Man boss. Is really the kind of format.
Really, that's a pretty good comparison.
Yeah, you know, and
this is definitely the kind of game that I think would work well for Greenlight, because as it is right now, it's a pretty strong concept.
It is.
But it's pretty limited unless you can get more funding for it to sort of increase what happens and increase the dramatic level of changes between each level and everything like that.
Yeah, I think really that the problem, I think it would be way cooler if, like, if at the very least the model for the boss, like, had stuff that was adding to it, or it was growing,
every time
changing.
The boss added a new attack, it would add a new part onto itself.
Yeah, that would be cool. Or just a new creature, you know, and, you know, changing the music up. The music was pretty relentless, you know, little things like that, you know.
The style of the game would probably be my one complaint with it, because the whole, you're a bro and you fight bosses.
Yeah, I mean, who cares?
And, like, the crazy electronic music and everything. It's not, like, terrible, but it feels a little pandering.
Yeah.
Because a lot of games have done that. Super Time Force recently did that. Bro Force did that. Of that real over-the-top.
Yeah.
2D art like that, trying to appeal to that. And it's kind of like, I think you could maybe go for a different angle with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that they had to say bro. I kind of like the, like, little Johnny Bravo looking sprite that you are. Yeah. Like, you know, it's like, there's nothing about that, like, screams bro. It's more just silly, like, crazy bouffant hair, you know, and I like that. It's like, I don't know, I think they could have I agree with you, have a more original take, you know, and even, like, you know, like, the Bosses Forever concept, like, I think they could, like, extrapolate that and, like, maybe be a little, I don't know, think of a take or something, you know, like, but,
So, as is, I would probably say not as complex as I'd want to be, but as a concept piece for a larger game, this is fantastic. This is definitely something that, were this to get bigger and there was some kind of progression saving system or some kind of roguelike system where you get to preserve certain upgrades through death and everything like that.
I was really wanting that Rogue Legacy thing of, like, and maybe just making a more complex leveling system or whatever, but I really hated the fact that it was really hard. I felt like I had to really just get good at dodging and upgrade my attack, because it was like, the end bosses had so much health and, like, they dealt so much damage at the same time. It was like it was challenging.
Yeah, because as of now, it's like one boss in one room that gets a new attack each time, which is not necessarily the most complicated thing in the world, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, and it's like all these splintering attacks that cover the screen too. So it's like pretty, like, after a while, like, the highest I got was like level 10. I got to my level 10, and, like, and I was only upgrading power because, like, it had so much. I don't know. It was just one of those things. I think they could balance it out and, like, make things a little interesting, you know, like that. But I agree with you. It's a great proof of concept, I think.
So as a game in and of itself, I wouldn't necessarily rate this as, like, a super heavy must play. You know, this is, like, about a 3 on that scale for me. But as the concept of what this could eventually become, easily, like, a 4, possibly a 5.
Yeah, I mean,
if this eventually delivers on the promise of you fight continually, more difficult and more complex bosses. That's a super awesome concept, and I would love to play that. It just needs to be a little bit more complex than what it is right now.
Yeah, Woody, you said it perfectly. I completely agree. I think it's a promising thing to look out for, on Greenlight. I'm sure there's going to be, like, cool, things added to it over time. So, like, right now, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's, like, a must-play just because it's hard, It's, like, one of those... it doesn't, like, make you feel instantly, like, really satisfied, I feel like. But it seems like it could go places. So I would say, yeah, 3 or 4 out of 5 for now, but it could grow big time in the future. So, yeah. Bosses forever, guys.
Check it out.
Check it out.